everybody. This is the AITA podcast. Alright. Let's just get to the point. Am I the asshole for making a big deal about my birthday and saying I don't want it to be made all about my sister? I'm 15 male, turning 16 in less than a month, and my parents had talked about throwing me a party with my friends and family there to celebrate. And I let myself get excited about it, which I'm starting to feel was dumb on my part. See, I have a little sister, Ava, and she's 7. She was a baby my parents tried to have for a few years after I was born, but struggled, and then she was born premature and almost died. It meant that my parents had to put a lot of time into her when she was little. It meant a lot of the time our world revolved around her. Back then, I would hear people say once she was a little older that things would return to normal. They never really did. My parents would prioritize Ava over me. I know she's a lot younger and it makes sense at times. For example, some examples of it, but not all. 2 years ago for Christmas, I really wanted a PS5. I made a deal with my parents that if I saved X amount of money, they would pay the rest for it as a gift. A drop came close by us and I had the money. Mom told me that Ava needed a haircut and they wanted to pamper her a little because she'd been to the developmental pediatrician, which she hates, so the money that would have gotten the PS5 went on to her and I never got the PS5. Instead, I got some clothes and food stuff for Christmas, and the food was to share items we get. Not even my favorites. My high school did an award ceremony in May to celebrate students who helped make the school better. I was given one for helping others in the school and acting as a mentor of sorts. Ava's school play was on the same day, and both of my parents chose to go to the school play instead of the award ceremony. They didn't even remember to ask me about it when I got home. My birthdays have always been more aimed at something Ava will enjoy too. We do Chuck E. Cheese where I can bring a friend, or hire a bounce house for family to come over, but always a smaller one, which means I can't get to enjoy it because younger kids in small bounce house. The spotlight always goes to her at least once. She's blown out my birthday candle since she was 2. This year, I really thought it would be different. All the plans were sounding really fun too. Then my parents found out Ava was being bullied in school and having a rough time. They told me she wasn't looking forward to anything, including my party, and that they thought it would be nice if they could do something that she could enjoy and give her some of the spotlight on the day where we assure her she's loved and wanted. I told them it was my birthday and I thought they wanted me to enjoy it. They told me they do, but Ava needs this, and that is, I cannot read right now. But Ava needs this, and that is her big brother. I should be thinking about how to make her feel special. I told them that if they were going to do this to me again, I was done. I told them not everything needs to be about Ava. That she might be their whole world, but she might be their whole focus in life, but she is not mine. My parents got so mad at me. Am I the asshole? Absolutely not. Okay. So, 16 is a big year, alright? And, they should just wait for her birthday. She might as well have 3 birthdays at this point. They just care way more. I get it, she almost died, but, that was 7 years ago. And, it's just ridiculous, you know? And, he didn't even get a PS5 for Christmas. This is just so messed up. I do not believe, this user is the asshole. Next up, we got, am I the asshole for not going to rehab? Alright. My mother is a degenerate alcoholic. She has been for as long as I can remember. Okay, that's a pretty deep start. A few years ago, she decided to quit. She decided this in jail after she hit a cop who was giving her a citation for public intoxication at my graduation. Damn. She went to a residential treatment center after she got out. My grandmother paid for it. She has been working for the program ever since. I'm happy she is bettering herself and I don't need her energy in my life or near my kids. She was at my grandma's house for a family barbecue over the Labor Day weekend. Everyone was having fun and it was my husband's turn to drive so I could have some wine and relax. She noticed my husband wasn't drinking and I was, and came over to tell me that I have a problem. That I'm obviously an alcoholic and I'm going to ruin my life. I told her I was just enjoying wine and food at a family outing. I wasn't drunk. I just never want to deal with cops again over alcohol. That is why my husband and I take turns or take an Uber when we go out. She kept coming back to bug me a few times. I finally said that I was just being responsible. It's not like I'm getting blackout drunk and pissing myself in public. She went away. She's been bombarding me with calls, texts, posts, and messages. She even got my grandmother involved. My grandmother called me to say that she would be willing to help me if I needed treatment for my addiction. So I posted to Facebook and basically brought everything out into the open. I mentioned every event that I could remember her ruining, and that I do not need rehab for enjoying wine with a meal at a social event. She took it as a personal attack, which it was, and evidence that I am in denial about my problem. She said I was an asshole for dredging up her past and not dealing with the present. I told her that I am done with her, and if she ever brings it up again, I'll go to NC, I don't know what that stands for, and she'll never see my children again. Am I the asshole? No, not at all. You do not have a drinking problem. Yeah, you drank wine one time. You don't have a drinking problem. Anyway, the users will be in the description. I really hope you enjoyed this first podcast. See ya.